SCP-049.
Hello. Greetings. Oh my. Yet another victim of the disease. You are not a doctor. I sense the disease in you. I am the cure. Do not be afraid. I am the cure.
SCP-049, known as the Plague Doctor, is a humanoid entity standing 1.9 meters tall, appearing to wear traditional 15th to 16th century Plague Doctor attire, a long black robe and distinctive white-beaked mask. However, these garments are actually part of his biological structure, functioning as skin and bone rather than clothing. The entity is obsessed with curing what he perceives as the Great Pestilence, a mysterious affliction he claims affects all of humanity, though only he can detect it. Despite extensive study, the Foundation has been unable to identify this supposed pestilence, leading researchers to theorize it may be psychological, existential, or entirely imaginary. Some speculate it could represent life itself, fear, or another abstract concept. SCP-049's cure proves invariably fatal. His touch kills humans within minutes, after which he performs surgical procedures using medical tools that emerge from his body. The procedure reanimates corpses as instances of SCP-049-2, aggressive, mindless zombies that attack other humans on sight. Interestingly, when performed on mechanical beings, the subjects retain their memories and intelligence. Despite his deadly nature, SCP-049 displays remarkably courteous and polite behavior. He genuinely believes his actions serve the greater good and shows concern for his patients' well-being. The entity rarely speaks, claiming his victim's melancholy nature makes conversation difficult. His refined mannerisms and apparent good intentions create a disturbing contrast with the horrific results of his medical procedures, making him one of the Foundation's most enigmatic contained entities. SCP-173. SCP-173, known as the Sculpture, is a concrete and rebar statue standing as one of the Foundation's most dangerous contained entities. This hostile, animate figure possesses a deadly ability. It can move at incredible speeds and snap the necks of any living beings it encounters, but only when not being directly observed. The entity's containment requires constant vigilance. At least 2 personnel must maintain direct eye contact with SCP-173 at all times, while a third cleans its chamber. The statue produces a mysterious reddish-brown substance combining feces and blood, requiring bi-weekly cleaning. Personnel report hearing scraping stone sounds from within its container when unoccupied. SCP-173 holds historical significance as the very first SCP ever created and documented by the Foundation. Created in 2007 by a Forshan user known as Moto42, it sparked the entire SCP Foundation mythos and community. The entity is based on a real sculpture called Untitled 2004 by Japanese artist Izumi Kato. The statue's presence has profoundly disturbed even the most dangerous SCPs. When exposed to SCP-682, the nearly indestructible reptile grew additional eyes to avoid breaking contact. SCP-187, who can see future events, fell into catatonia for 48 hours after viewing it. In revised entries, SCP-173 demonstrates an ability to reproduce asexually, potentially creating catastrophic scenarios where multiple instances could overwhelm containment protocols and threaten global security. SCP-682. SCP-682, known as the hard-to-destroy reptile, is an enormous, vaguely reptilian creature that represents one of the Foundation's most dangerous and persistent threats. This intelligent, malevolent entity possesses an undying hatred for all forms of life, considering humans and other living beings to be disgusting aberrations that must be eliminated. The creature's most terrifying ability is its near-perfect adaptability and regeneration. SCP-682 can survive being cut in half, having its neck snapped repeatedly, being dissolved in acid, and countless other termination attempts. Each failed destruction method only makes it stronger as it evolves new defenses, growing multiple eyes to counter SCP-173's movement, developing protective armor against extreme heat, or sprouting specialized appendages as needed. Despite its murderous nature, SCP-682 has shown unexpected relationships with certain SCPs. It became docile around SCP-053, a young girl whose presence normally drives people to violence, allowing her to draw on its hide with crayons. The creature also formed an alliance with SCP-079, an artificial intelligence, possibly because it doesn't qualify as traditional life. SCP-682's origins remain mysterious, though various tales suggest connections to ancient entities or cosmic forces. Created by Dr. Gears, this SCP has become one of the most iconic entries in the Foundation universe, representing the concept of an unkillable, adaptive threat that grows stronger with each attempt to destroy it. SCP-2521. SCP-2521, known only through pictographic documentation, is a large humanoid entity standing nearly twice the height of a normal person, its body covered in sticky black tendrils resembling ribbons. This Keter-class anomaly presents a unique containment challenge. It cannot be described in written or spoken form without triggering its anomalous effects. The creature possesses an obsessive attraction to any textual or verbal information about itself. When someone writes about SCP-2521, it will manifest and steal the documents, showing apparent fondness for the material. More disturbingly, when individuals speak about the entity aloud, SCP-2521 will kidnap them, displaying what appears to be affection toward its victims. These people are never seen again. The entity's origins remain mysterious across different interpretations. Some accounts suggest it escaped from a prison-like room designated SCP-1346-1, while others propose it was once a Fey crime boss who lost his name and identity, transforming into this information-seeking creature. Notably, SCP-2521 is currently the highest-rated Keter-class SCP on the Foundation Wiki. Due to its unique properties, SCP-2521 can only be safely documented through images, charts, and ideograms. The Foundation has discovered that the creature can phase through walls and appears confused by nonverbal communication. Experiments have shown it prioritizes locations with the most information about itself, creating strategic opportunities for the Foundation to manipulate its movements, though containment remains impossible. SCP-610. SCP-610, known as the Flesh That Hates, is a highly contagious disease that has overrun several townships in Russia, earning its Keter classification due to its extreme danger and uncontainable nature. The infection begins as simple skin irritation, but rapidly progresses to severe scabbing across the victim's body before causing death within hours. 5 minutes after death, the victim reanimates with grotesquely mutated flesh covering their body. The infected undergo random mutations, growing additional limbs while spreading fleshy substance across surrounding areas. Under certain circumstances, victims cease moving and root themselves to continuously expand and consume nearby objects with flesh. However, if infected subjects spot uninfected living beings, they will pursue them aggressively. The disease affects all organic life, not just humans. SCP-610's origins trace back to ancient conflicts between the Sarkite and Devite civilizations, possibly created by Grand Karcist Ion during slave revolts. The infection is notably based on real-life sculptures called Dream Diorama by Australian artist Mark Powell. Foundation exploration teams discovered that the infection sites contain vast underground tunnel systems covered in infected flesh, eventually leading to encounters with the entity Yaldabaoth, the apparent source of the disease. Due to the massive infection zones, standard containment is impossible. Instead, these areas remain isolated and guarded by military forces under Russian government permission, with observation conducted only through drones and remote robots. SCP-096. SCP-096, known as the Shy Guy, is a pale, emaciated humanoid standing 2.38 meters tall, with disproportionately long arms measuring 1.5 meters in length. This Euclid-class entity spends most of its time in a docile state, pacing its containment chamber while crying softly to itself. The anomaly's terrifying ability triggers when anyone views its face, whether directly, in photographs, or videos, even a few pixels in the background of an image. Upon being viewed, SCP-96 enters extreme emotional distress, covering its face while screaming and crying for 1 to 2 minutes. It then enters an unstoppable rage state, pursuing the viewer across any distance with supernatural determination. Nothing can impede SCP-960's path to its target. It will tear through reinforced walls, survive military-grade weaponry, and cross continents to reach whoever saw its face. Upon reaching its victim, SCP-96 kills them completely, leaving no trace of the body behind. Notably, the creature was created by author Dr. Dan and has become one of the most recognizable SCPs in the Foundation universe. The most significant incident, known as 096-1-A, occurred when a mountaineer unknowingly photographed the entity in the background of a landscape photo. This triggered a cross-country rampage that resulted in hundreds of civilian deaths and the complete annihilation of Mobile Task Force Tau-1 Big Brother, demonstrating the entity's extreme danger to public safety. SCP-3000. SCP-3000, known as Anantashesha or simply the Eel, is a colossal aquatic serpentine entity resembling a giant moray eel, estimated to be between 600 and 900 kilometers in length. This massive creature dwells off the coast of India, where it was discovered by the Foundation in 1971 following the mysterious disappearance of Bangladeshi fishing boats and their crews. The entity possesses devastating psychic abilities that destroy human consciousness and memory. Prolonged exposure causes severe cognitive deterioration, memory loss, and eventual mental breakdown. Initial contact missions resulted in divers becoming delusional, with survivors experiencing identity confusion and amnesia before being consumed by the creature. Despite its dangerous nature, SCP-3000 serves as a valuable Foundation asset classified as thaumiel. When feeding, the creature excretes a black substance called Y909, which the Foundation harvests to create powerful amnestics. The Aztec protocol involves deliberately feeding D-class personnel to SCP-3000 to stimulate Y909 production, which is then collected by divers during the creature's digestive process. Dr. Venkat Krishnamurthy theorized that SCP-3000 was the Hindu deity Anantashesha, becoming so disturbed by this possibility that he committed suicide by feeding himself to the creature. His colleague Dr. Manava later discovered the entity's true nature. It fundamentally abhors human cognition, breaking down consciousness until only basic electrical signals remain, revealing the horrifying reality of what humans truly are beneath their perceived souls. SCP-106. SCP-106, known as the Old Man, is a withered, elderly humanoid entity with dark, necrotic flesh that constantly oozes corrosive black mucus. This Keter-class anomaly appears as an extremely old man with sunken black eyes and a skull-like grin, capable of phasing through solid matter by dissolving it with his secretions. The entity's origins remain disputed between two primary theories. The first involves Lawrence, a World War I corporal who fell into a mysterious black substance in an enemy trench, transforming him into a sadistic predator. The second, more tragic origin connects SCP-106 to Dr. Robert Scranton, a Foundation scientist who became trapped in SCP-3001, a reality-deficient pocket dimension, for nearly 6 years. The isolation and dimensional effects gradually corrupted Scranton's body and mind until he became the monster now contained by the Foundation. SCP-106 hunts by stalking victims relentlessly before incapacitating them and dragging them into its personal pocket dimension through dark patches it creates on surfaces. Within this realm, it has complete control over space, time, and perception, using these abilities to torture prisoners before killing them. Created by author Dr. Gears, who also created SCP-682, the entity demonstrates remarkable intelligence and sadistic pleasure in its hunting.